Alright, hello everyone. Let's do this. This is Ditone here to give you a cast of the Defense 3 Finals. VP already up game 1. I'm a little bit late, so I'm just going to quickly run through the draft as fast as I possibly can. VP picked up an IO first. Fnatic responded with a Chaos Knight Batrider. VP then went with the Darkseer Puck. And then Fnatic finished out with Lone Druid, probably going to be played by Trixie. And alright, and then next stage, VP went for a Jakiro and a Sven, while Fnatic's going for a Lina and a Visage. Visage sets up for the Lina, and so does Chaos Knight. Lone Druid offlane, really strong, really tanky. Batrider, one of the best mids in the game. That's pretty straightforward. However, Puck does really well against him. The phase shift, being able to dodge it out with the sticky napalms. Jakiro and Io, okay enough lane. Coupled with the Sven would be extremely strong. And VP had this insane team fight. You have the vacuum into the Puck ult into the illusionary orb, the waning rift. Jakiro dual breath, ice path, and ult, along with the spirit wisp TP in a Sven who not only has the insane cleave of God, but also that AoE Stormbolt stun. So right now Fnatic looks to have kind of this really nice tanky lineup, and they'll be able to survive for an extremely long time when doing virtually anything. So let's go over who's doing what. We have Trixie playing his Lone Druid. We've got No Tail playing the Visage. You've got Fly playing the Lina, and Era playing the Chaos Knight, kind of his standard role. Oh, and I'm sorry, and then there's Hani playing the Batrider. It looks like they're all going up top right now, so there might be a level 1 engagement. Just as they try and get their wards out, see what happens. And it is going to be an aggressive try lane to try and do some damage against the Wisp. So I do really like that. And let's see, is there going to be something happening? No, it looks like VP is going to stay at their tower. No, they're going into the forest. And he gets spotted out. Let's see. Stormbolt goes out on Trixie and hits on Fly. Ice Path goes and hits on Trixie. Trixie's probably going to die from this, but so is Sven. Sven taking a ton of damage, not only from the sticky napalms, but also from just Chaos Knight being Chaos Knight. Sticky napalm keeps going out, but it looks like everyone's going to get out scot-free. Yeah, and so that's the engagement. I mean, if Fnatic had gotten just a little bit more damage on that Sven, a couple of quicker sticky napalm stacks, and managed to pick them off, I think that would have been just absolutely amazing, especially considering that they kind of got handled last game. Sorry about that. But anyways, looks like Trixie's going to be down on the solo easy lane. Going up against Chaos Eyes Darkseer. Actually getting a pretty little cheeky deny there. Yeah, so that's actually Hani managing to get 4 stacks up on the Puck. If he can get level 2 here, he might even go on. Oh wow, this Puck just, oh yeah, doesn't have anything. He gets the Flame Break, does just a ton of damage to him. So really well played by Hani. Just abusing the fact that the Puck doesn't have Waning Rift yet. Anyways, as we look at the top lane, see Era having a nice presence on the lane. Illidan or Airman, I'm not sure which one he's actually going by right now. Just kind of also going on and off the lane. It's much harder for him to stay on the lane with a Visage Lina. Just so much more burst coming out than a Wisp Jakiro. I mean, if you look, Wisp only has 49 damage, less than 300 movement speed, and no armor. And Chaos Knight has a lot more than that. Excuse me. Anyways, so I mean, this engagement on to the Wisp. However, the counter engagement with the Stormbolt just going to do tons of damage to No Tail. No Tail is going to go down here. Just that's just underestimating the Stormbolt damage. But then Sven also managed to go down, so a much better trade so far for Fnatic. Era now chasing the Wisp, and actually they managed to pick him off with Visage's Soul Assumption. So very well played by No Tail, just kind of coming back in at the last second and managing to pick off that kill. So that's now 2 for 1 for Fnatic on the board. This tri-lane doing what they needed it to, which is get a lot done. Given this is going to get only stronger with levels, because the Visage's Soul Assumption getting leveled up is just so crazy strong. Not to mention you'll have the next level of the Grave Chill. Or he's actually... Okay, he's holding on to a point for now. But the Grave Chill just making it so that... because Chaos Knight doesn't have any slows, so besides his stun, if you can't kill him during that period, he's pretty much screwed. Unless there's another outside slow. So, that's why. Or something to increase movement speed, which is why he's so great with Wisp. But, he's got a Visage with the Grave Chill, which is an amazing slow. It's like Venom's, acid, but without Venom's Q without the damage. And it gives you movement speed, so it's like pretty cool. Trixie is having not the best of times on the bottom lane. Bear's actually pretty low, but he's got his tranquils up now, so he'll be able to tank the creep wave, and just get as many last hits as he can. His Darkseer not missing a last hit so far, just because he's sitting in lane and doing the Iron Shell, just splitting the creep wave. I apologize once again. I did up a little too late doing the GST last night, so I missed the first game. However, I'll go back and catch the VOD right after this. So, anyways, looks like this. I mean, just look at the last hits. I mean, this aggressive tri-lane from Fnatic is really working out. The Sven's only managed to get 4 last hits. I mean, combined, they have half between all the 3 heroes. They have half the last hits of this Chaos Knight. So, Era getting the nice start that he really wants. Meanwhile, if we look back, Hani and TMW are trading perfectly even right now. TMW actually just a great player. I've only seen him starting to make a splash this last couple of weeks, but man, he's been doing a great job. I can't remember yeah, he did a great job at the Tech Cup, TechNet Cup or something like that. The one where ICC managed to actually upset, which is a really fun tournament to watch. Go check it out. I think Toby casted it, so you can just check it out on either join. It's probably on joindota.com. Just go to the VOD section, look for it. But just any of the recent games of the ICC Cup were really awesome. Just great team. But back to this game. We see that Lone Druid finally overtaking the Darkseer. Looks like he's been going around just back into the jungle and stuff like that to get some kills at the same time. Kind of common. You just go back and forth, and what happens is you can just constantly cut the creep wave, and you can farm a small camp, and you can cut the creep wave, and so on and so forth. And you just get an insane amount of gold. Like we see, he already has Tranquils and Soul Ring. It's really, really nice for this time. And actually, he already has phase up on a Spirit Bear, which probably means he's going to go for Maelstrom Basher. And you don't see a Radiance with anything except like Orb of Venom and normal boots. Yeah, I mean, we have a haste turn on Hani. Gonna get spotted out by the creeps though.
Rogues, thanks be with you.
TMW gonna ported. Just to say hi, just to make sure nothing happens. Puck is just such a great counter initiator with that with not only silence but also the dream coil. Really makes it so you can't do much. Ooh, silence goes out on fly, and ooh, even gonna use the dream coil, and Stormbolt goes out, but Puck managed to get the kill. So nice easy kill on Lina. It's really they needed something like this to give this lane back some presence. It really has been just nothing. And ooh, another Stormbolt flies out. Only 1 second stun on Illidan though, and that's gonna be a dead. Oh no, don't go for it, Era. Please just go back. Okay, good. I'm sorry, I don't like seeing people doing just really stupid things. Yeah, that was a really nice 2 pickoffs for VP. It weakens up the tri-lane for a bit, not to mention give us support some much needed levels. Wisp is only level 3, and at 7 minutes that's really not the best, but that's what happens when you get aggressive tri-laned. You can see the Chaos Knight's level 5, while Sven is just going to hit level 5. So really not a huge EXP disparity, but at the same time, he's still up almost 30 last hits on him, which is pretty crazy. Meanwhile in mid, you just see Ani just farming up, while TMW just goes and checks for runes. Neither of them have rune wards up, which is pretty funny, because there's so many wards being focused on this tri-lane up here. So, yeah. So they both guessed runes, and Ani won. Meanwhile, Trixie, now in his true form. See, has he built up anything else yet? Doesn't look like it, just coming away. So now it's turned into a pretty passive game, and you know what? At this point, I'd say it favors Fnatic. If you look, they're out just flat out are firing them. Alright, they just lost 2 kills, and now they're down a kill. Sorry, I was watching to see if there's gonna be a courier snipe. And now they're down a kill. But at the same time, I mean, that tri-lane is doing what it needs to. Not only get a couple of kills and stunt the growth of the Sven, but it's cutting off all momentum of that Sven too by making it so he can't get any last hits. I mean, look, he only has 500 gold and normal boots, whereas Chaos Knight already has power treads, he has an upgraded wand, and he has a bracer, which just is pretty much everything that Sven wants at this point, but doesn't have. Let's check on this Darkseer. Let's see what he's going for. He almost has his mech, actually. Let's see, I can math. He's 650 off from it, so that's a pretty well-timed mech. I mean, if you have a mech up for like 15 minutes, it's going to do so much more than if your mech comes out at like 30 minutes. Which right now is looking like what Fnatic's mech is going to come out at. So yeah. Actually, it's funny. I was playing a game a couple nights ago, and saw a lone druid go mech. It wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen. It ended up working out pretty well, just for early pushing. Try it out, it might be interesting. Or you'll get yelled at in pubs. Either or. Gotta keep it interesting. Batrider manages to pick up his blink now. So Hani's looking really nice. 10-minute blink dagger. It's not bad at all. If you look at Puck in comparison though, and he's not even close to it. Yeah. Weird, because he went for the full magic wand, the mantle, but still, he should have more gold than that. Oh wait, Hani's have 11 last hits. All right, never mind. I mean, 11 last hits is a lot of gold. Meanwhile, Trixie, just on the bottom line, farming away, doing what lone druids do. The farmage. Wisp sitting in level 4. These supports really just want to get to levels. Motion Jakiro wants to get level 8. That's when he really peaks with the dual breath and the ice path, both level 4. And this Wisp just wants level 6. He just really use it. We actually see that the ward's gone away now. It's been counter warded, so this poll's been able to be completed now. So Illidan gonna get a couple more last hits out on the field. And I'm sorry if I keep calling him Airman. I mean VP was during last year was just so much fun to watch that I got in the habit of calling him Airman. And I'm gonna accidentally call KSI Santa every once in a while. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is who it is. Alright, cool, because I was wondering, because Arsart's been standing in for VP ever since they got rid of Santa
Dire's mid tower's having
on Fnatic DCs. So yeah, so Smilevic seems to be taking that spot. Let's check out hero level. Kind of expected. The two solos are neck and neck, and they're both getting pretty much every last hit. Chaos Knight and Sven, exactly the same. Actually, that's really cool to see. The Sven, the Chaos Knight, the Lina, the Jakiro, and the Visage and the Wisp are all exactly the same level. But at 12 minutes, having a level 4 Visage and a level 4 Wisp isn't exactly the best thing in the world. I mean, Visage is a really, really aggressive hero. And you can do so much with him. Alright, well, looks like we have a longer-ish break. Because I believe that is... No, it's NoTail. Yeah. NoTail dealing with some internet issues. Let's check the item progression. We actually see that Darkseer is snuck out at 12 minutes. That's really nice. Chaos Knight going to work towards that armlet. Once again, all the armlet transfers over to all the Phantasm illusions. So, just an insanely efficient DPS item. And since Trixie's also in the field, he doesn't have to worry about building for a straight BKB or something like that. He can go for some more damage. He kind of needs to also. Just because Trixie will act more as the tankier carry, whereas Eric can go for more of this this high aggression carry, just kind of peeking at the mid game, while Trixie will peek in the late game. So it'll be nice. There will be this constant flow of ideal peakage, for lack of better words. Alright, so TMW actually went to eat his power treads, so his blink will be even more delayed, but I think he needed the power treads to keep dealing with Hani. Hani is just sitting on boots of Blink Dagger. Alright, and NoTail is now back in the game, so hopefully this will be starting soon. And we're off.
Alright, carry on.
NoTail, just finding a nice little move. Smilevic, rotating down. I think they're going to try and see if they can get a pick off on him. No word. But I think they're just going to go for a gank anyways. KSI is actually rotating into the jungle. No, they have to be pushing this out. With the mech up, they're like, alright guys, it's time to do a little bit of pushing. And honestly, I agree with this decision. The earlier you have a mech means the earlier you can push, and if you're getting pushed against a Lord Druid, then that's probably a good idea to counter push. However, I'm not sure. Yeah, they can actually counter push really well. The only really good counter push ability they have is the Dragon Slave and the Light Strike Array. So I think they're just gonna give up this top T1. Just trade it, yeah. Trixie managed to keep the bottom, and VP will manage to take the top. Meanwhile, Batrider's just going to poke away on the mid tower, so they might actually get a 2-for-1 trade. Yeah, look, they've just completely abandoned it. And they're going to go for 2 T1s for a T2. Or for 2 T1s for 1 T1. So, much better trade. And they just have a much better pushing lineup. I mean, the Shakir doesn't have any points in his Liquid Fire yet, so they don't actually have any real pushing abilities besides the Darkseer's just being Darkseer. Because I'm just really good. But now it's just going to free up some farm on bottom. Sven and Wisp, I believe. Wisp's still not level 6, and it's almost, and this is pretty much 14 minutes into the game, so that's a very sad Wisp. Yeah, let's just look like, actually, this Noctail's Visage just getting completely just thrown out of this game. I mean, he just hasn't been able to get the kills which you need in a Visage tri lane. So because of it, he doesn't even have his level 4 soul assumption at 14 minutes. I feel so bad for you, Noctail. Oh, actually, huge engagement coming in. Just Chaos Knight going to town on the Illidan, but eventually falls. Puck had a really nice Dream Coil and a Waning Rift, and that's 3 down for the price of none. That Wisp just doing exactly what it needed to do. And a quick 5-man up onto the top lane to probably take the T2 now. Just extremely well executed out of VP. TMW, I really think, is like one of these great European and Russian players who I think can rival Dendi for best mid. And I say that with a grain of salt because, like, I think that Dendi really shined, like, to the point where he was unbeatable during the days of, Invoker mid. But now with less Invoker, even though ISSA still plays it. So even though he's sorry, as I'm being retarded with words. Oh, I actually managed to get the lasso out on this Fen, so this Fen should probably be dropping pretty shortly. When the Rift's, or the Orb's gonna come out, but the Laguna Blade just finishes him off with ease. So trade carry for carry, not the best trade for Fnatic at all, considering how underfarmed Sven is. But he actually almost has. He's working towards his BKB. It's just 3k off from it, so not the worst. Lone Druid actually has been saving up has 2k saved up, so I might be going for the relic.
Radiant's mid tower.
I can't see what's on the bear though. So. Yeah. So Visage. Just trying to get whatever farm he can. This is a second invis rune, so more EXP for you. Yes, Knight. Now is his omelet finished. So that's good for him. He'll be able to start doing some proper right-click damage, combined up with next level when he gets the Chaos Strike. Standard build, because Phantasm costs so much, and it's not exactly good at level 1. You just skip it until level 10, because then you can get levels 10 and 11 in your ults, and it's much stronger, much quicker. And you can still do a lot early game with the maxed out Chaos Bolt and the maxed out Reality Rift. Anyways, Ani gonna be actually already has his 4-staff now. It's an extremely fit Bat Rider, and it looks like there's gonna be a Wisp TP onto the Visage, and he's probably gonna go down. Yeah, he turned back for the Grape Chill, but the gist of the too much damage. That is what just happened. And not only did they get bot tower, but Sven managed to get a nice little pick off.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties. Hope the Dire weren't part
Meanwhile,
of that mid tower.
T2 mid gets pushed down, so not the worst trade. And Trixie, what are you doing? Just TPing onto all of them and just dies. And 2 more TPs in onto the wall though, and just gets vacuumed back. And Noctail already had virtually no life, and Fly, being the best at TPing, decides maybe I want to TP onto a wall. Like if you TP'd more over here, would have been much smarter. But each is their own.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now. Have fun trying to bust down Radiant structures now.
So just kind of some sloppy play coming out of Fnatic. I mean, being in the wrong position at the wrong time, and that was easily avoided. I mean, Trixie just had to cancel his TP. There probably wasn't a good. I mean, assuming Trixie was alive and Noctail didn't have 0 HP, there's probably a good chance they could have defended that. But the problem was Trixie just TP'd right into the middle of their team, and No Tail TP'd onto a wall, so they took tons and tons of damage, and they're just not far enough supports to say, alright, we took some damage, but we have a mech and urn, you know, get back up to full health. No, they don't have any of that. So, I mean, look, we have double burster coming out from Lena, so no support items coming that way. This Visage is just sad and poor. Managed to actually get level 6, so he does have, No Tail does have his familiars, and if you know No Tail, he is one of the best microers in Dota. In the Dota Pro scene at least. Maybe other than Select, who I still think is extremely good, and I can't wait to see Select play Visage someday. Ooh, actually, Lasso coming in, that's going to be just a really dead puck. And Jakiro probably going to fall next. Reality Rip actually ends up trapping Era. Oh, okay, and Hani, gonna be the awesome team player he is, clears a path for him. Meanwhile, Trixie just going to go to town on him, but he's, Fat Rider's going to pick up the kill with the cocktail. Or the flame break. It's a freaking Molotov cocktail. Anyways, they're gonna. B's gonna respond by trying to do a little bit of the pushing on the top lane, but we can get anywhere with it. Lone Druid, actually, that's what he was going for. He picks up the full armlet on the bear. Actually went for Midas, late Midas, and now he's got the full armlet. Still, I'm gonna say I think armlet's pretty much the most cost-effective item you can get on Lone Druid. For the 2k gold, you just get so much out of it. And you go for Maelstrom next, and you got even more attack speed and even more jolly goodness. I mean, this just makes sure it's just such a well-rounded item. And Sven gonna pop God Strength, gonna go all man mode on the tower, and there's really nothing I can do to defend it. So T1 mid drops. Meanwhile, they're gonna try and see if they can get the trade on the T1 top. If VP responds fast enough, they should really easily be able to deal with this. But Sven doesn't have a TP, so does Jakir, and Jakir doesn't either. But actually, Jakir's there. So what am I talking about?
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Anyways, Trixie just getting as much farm as he possibly can. Minus Armlet means he's Maelstrom's gonna come up next, and then an AC. It's just a standard Lone Druid build right now, but at the same time, still really good. Gives you a ton of attack speed, gives you a ton of damage, gives you a ton of survivability. So I don't know why you really wouldn't do that unless you wanted to wanted a fast basher to help with the lockdown. So, looks like Sven managed to pick up his BKB. Let's actually check on any real big item purchases. Hani almost has his BKB. Era working towards his BKB. So this is going to be game of BKBs. Actually, looks like we're going to have a fight, maybe? No, actually, VP going in for the Roche Pit. There's no vision for Fnatic, but they know. Bear scouts it out. But they need to do something about it fast. There are going to be fighting in the Roche Pit with a actually huge stun out onto Hani, going to get completely picked off before the fight even begins. This really can't be a fight that Fnatic can take now, but Fly going to get caught out by the BK beat up Illidan and just doing tons and tons of damage. No Tail next to be caught out. Familiar's saving him for a second, but now it's 3 down, and Air is on the run, but it looks like he's also going to fall to that Wisp, or to the IO Darkseer combo, and that's a triple kill for TMW. And what I was saying earlier, with TMW possibly becoming one of the best mids in Europe, you know, he's just so good. I don't know what else to say. He just is always there at the right times and manages to get these great ultis off, to get these great things to just completely turn the team fights for VP, and where Dendi really excels at landing these crazy skill shots. I think TMW really excels at landing just these perfect ultimates. He just sees the battlefield. It's like, alright, it needs to be there, and that's the best I can possibly get. And he's just done every game I've seen him in, he's just done an amazing job turning around team fights and just finding really, really easy pickoffs that make it, I mean, they look easy, but reality, this game's pretty hard. Let's take this time to look at the gold and EXP graphs. VP should be up in both EXP and gold right now, but I'd say I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna say 5k gold in EXP. Yep, 4k EXP difference. Not that surprising. The kills they've gotten, Fnatic have gotten, have been high value, whereas VP have been constantly picking off the supports. So it does make sense, and that you can see just that last fight, the plummet. Let's see. And then the gold, yeah, we can see that during the entire early game, Fnatic had the lead, but actually they're only 1k behind, and that's probably because of all the towers, so nothing terribly surprising about that.
Radiant's mid tower ain't doing so good.
So what's the plummet? Oh, it's gonna be a slow and steady. Damn it! I wanted to see like I wanted to see that sound effect. All right, sound effect. All right. So VP taking a really, really nice stance in this game. There's just something. The supports for Fnatic just don't have anything at all. Like, they don't have a mech, they don't have a pipe, don't even have an urn. Are there drums out on the field? I don't know. There's no drums out on the field. Just these are very, very slow and not high HP supports that are just getting kind of dismantled in these team fights. The AoE stun, the AoE team fight, it just has them disintegrating. And actually, they're gonna do a ton of damage to this T3 on top. Overcharged Sven, got strength up. He does in a couple seconds. This tower actually might fall. And just Fnatic, what are they gonna do about it? Oh, they're gonna go in. This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna lasso in on the Wisp, and manage to take him out. BKB'd up. Batrider deals with that really easily, but at the same time, they trade both the Chaos Knight and the Lina for it. A root on the Chikiro means he's gonna go down really, really quickly. Wisp gonna go ahead and fall again, but that's cleave from the Sven, just doing so much work and managed to clean up another 2 kills. But Trixie managed to pick up another kill on the whoever he picked off, the Darkseer, and now Sven's gonna be on the run or not. He's just gonna do tons and tons of damage, and actually really, really nice root. Yeah, nice root coming out of the bear, and just gonna pick him off with ease. The Trixie's gonna come back in, try and see if he can get a lucky entangle. Yes, he gets the entangle up. Fly gonna get the stun, and this is what they were looking for much earlier. But at the same time, yep, okay, cool. Just making sure. Fly or Trixie taking a ton of damage and might have fallen. So the wreck still stands, and they take a ton of kills. Something that Fnatic really needed. Not only did their supports need it for just the fact that they're all poor, but they need it for the EXP because they're also pretty behind in levels, I believe. Yeah, they're not that behind in levels, but actually this Chaos Knight just completely fell off the plane of existence here. Once again, sorry about that. He's he's got the 8 assists, but he's 1 in 4, and he's only, he spent so long in that tri-lane that he hasn't had just the ability to farm anywhere else with any sort of ease, so he's just fallen off. Now he's still level 10, so he's behind the support Chikiro. So this deficit in levels actually taking its toll. So as I was saying, like, I thought the gold disparity was higher, but Trixie actually just has a ton of money, and the reason why I thought it was so high was that I'm seeing like a mech and an urn being up, a mech, urn, and drums all being up for VP, and I don't see any of that up for Fnatic. So I thought the gold disparity was higher than it actually was, so I apologize for that. But at the same time, we now have Mask of Madness out on Sven, sitting on 1700 gold. Probably going to go for the crits next, just to make it silly. KSI actually has not only his ag zipper, but also a force staff to help the engagement and the chasing. Puck working towards his hex, I believe only 1300 off from said item. Chaos Knight just being completely stunted, and this this BKB is not going to come out anytime soon. You know, Trixie's bear, Trixie. Oh, I hear Wisp TP. Wisp TP gonna go out on Era. Fnatic, or the stun gonna come out on the Wisp, but and I hear Batrider Lasso is coming out on. I don't even know what he came out on. Oh, I think it came out on the Puck, but Chaos Knight gonna fall along with Wisp. KSI is gonna fall shortly after, buys back into the game. Visage doing whatever damage he can. And actually, that little bit of damage is going a long way. If he gets the thing out, he's chasing his familiars onto Smelvik, and that will be a dead Jakiro. TMW now on the run. If he can get another bash, no, he couldn't get a bash or entangle. And Fnatic just taking a couple of really solid team fights and getting their way back into this game. I mean, check the EXP, it's now back in their favor. Check the gold, and well, wow, that was a nice linear drop. But it's leveled out now. It's coming back up a tad. So actually, this period, what it says is that they're farming the map exactly equally, which I think is pretty cool. It's just cool to see graphs and what they tell. I don't know, I'm a nerd. You ask. Yeah, I think KSI will probably be working towards his Aghanim, or not his Aghanim, his Refresher Orb next. Just, it's a good item, and Fnatic don't have too much AoE magic damage except for the Fire Path. Firefly. Oh, I'm sorry, but besides the Firefly, they don't actually have too much AoE magic damage. So I don't think a pipe will be coming out. So I think it'll just be something to make it so that they can get more damage out of this Darkseer. I actually like to see a Shiva's Guard, because you can slow them down and then have the illusions go to town. It's something that both Brax and G do from LGD and it's done wonders for them. Back when Darkseer was pretty much being played on this level middle for like half a month, or about a month or two. Yeah, like a month or two. So we just see. Oh, Monster Farm. Does he have something on the courier? Yes, he does. So he has his crits coming out to him now, I do believe. Kiro sitting on a nice amount of gold. Already has his Force Staff in addition to some his arcanes, so he's feeling nice and happy. Puck actually finishes up his Scythe-ifies, so he'll be even more of a threat. Hani, good thing he got that BKB. The sheep can be a real nuisance when lassoing people. So yeah, it's kind of just I don't want to say a stalemate, but just both teams biding their time. Trixie managed to pick up a Hyperstone on his bear, so now going for that AC, get the increased chance of both the bash and for the entangles. It just makes his bear really scary.
Technical difficulties.
And so now, it's kind of this awkward waiting. Looks like we're gonna have a 5v5 engagement coming up soon. I'd assume so, anyways. Both teams grouped up. Bottom actually gonna smoke up into the forest. Fnatic, oh, they could catch that Trixie here. That would be huge. But they're just kind of grouped up, just waiting. Let's see what happens. Smoke coming, and I mean, Fnatic expect this to be back, and now it's going to get spotted out by this well-played Sentry Ward. So, smoke from VP not really going to amount to anything. Fnatic saw that they were all off the map, so they were really cautious in their own jungle. And what they do is, this is actually a really well-timed smoke, because they make Fnatic really super cautious about their own forest, or their own jungle, and now Roche is going to be up in about 30 seconds. So they just pretty much cleared their way for Roche. If they had timed it a little bit better, they could have like ended the smoke by going into Roche, which would have been like genius and looked like it was this master plan. But I think it was more of a like, hey, Roche is coming up soon, let's smoke kind of thing, instead of a on the second calculation. Can't fault him, but see, just in terms of EXP, Trixie has managed to get his way up to level 20, just having a fantastic game so far. And they're actually going to Roche. Fnatic should know this is going on. I believe they do see the wisps. Yeah. And they're going to back out of the pit. So, see the Visage Familiars. Like, nope, not having any of that. I was going to say Visage really should be careful, but at the same time, it is no tail. So, in terms of micro, he is the best. And scout out Roche again. Gonna do anything about it? Yep, rotation already comes down. Bear on the front lines. And, oh, can he get a pick off on KSI? No, he doesn't. So the Bear is just gonna hit Roche once. And they're just gonna keep going back and forth until they eventually get this. Well, TMW just stays in the high ground so he can eventually get his orb in. Oh, Sven going and engaging on the Lina and Hani. Hani gonna get picked off again really fast. Just absolutely decimated. Lina buys back, but how fast is it gonna, or how quickly is it gonna impact? Meanwhile, the Bear gets stunned up by the Dream Coil, and they're just gonna get out of there. That really is the smartest option, and now they're gonna get their Roche. So, well played out of VP's side. Just a really strong team fight, and oh, looks like it's not over actually. The Bear just going to work not only on the sports but now on Illidan, and just doing tons and tons of damage. TMW now taking some damage. Ooh, Bear, another nice entangle on the Sven. Reality Rift with the illusions, thinking he could take him out, but actually just ends up dying. Hani still dead. During all of this not having buyback for this one engagement really costing or paying a lot. Bear gets stunned up, and looks like Trixie's actually going to go down here. So this is a huge pickoff. Pretty much the lifeblood of Fnatic right now, just getting torn apart. So yeah, and now that's gonna be Roshan. Just a dead Roshan. Sven now only 1200 off from his crits. Oh wait, no, only 600 off from his crits. That Wisp is just so farmed, and Darkseer actually sitting on 3.2k, not half bad at all for him. Trixie, see progress on his Bear. Actually hasn't had any since this since pre-Roshan fight. Last couple minutes have just been kind of wasted for him, doing nothing in particular. And by nothing in particular, I mean attempting to save that fight. Meanwhile, Visage picks up Big Bracer. Just No Tail is so poor, so poor. Now this Chaos Knight could really be careful. There's a Wisp on the map. You can just get TP'd in upon and have that turned around on him. Anything else? Oh, actually, TMW picking up a Sange. That's going to be for the Heaven's Halberd. Notice that the Bear isn't going to get a. I really do love Heaven's Halberd, the new one at least. It requires a VKB to get rid of. So he notices that the Chaos Knight doesn't have his BKB yet, so if they need to, they can just get rid of the Chaos Knight. And also the bear, the Spirit Bear, isn't going to be getting any form of BKB. Yeah, so why not just get rid of the bear for like, how long is it gonna have his hover last for again? Get rid of her for 4.5 seconds. So during the middle of a team fight, that's pretty much a hex on the bear for 4.5 seconds, which is crazy. Meanwhile, the top rack expo is going to take quite a bit of damage. Actually, you're just going to kill off the bear real quick. He does have a resummon, but that's a really nice quick pick. If he can get it, no, he doesn't get it. Meanwhile, Hani just brings back in TMW, and TMW gonna get out. And no, not gonna get out. Sorry, just ends up dying. They're fighting in the wall, but at the same time, Bear just picking off support after support, bringing everyone down low, but not actually managing to find a kill. Trixie did resummon the bear, so if he dies and buys back, it's still going to be of no real use. But they managed to pick off Illidan. The main problem about Sven is if he does get cut out, he doesn't really have a proper escape mechanism. Nothing like an anti-mage or a or anything. But oh, nice TP back out to base. It looks like Wisp is just gonna sacrifice himself. That Sven got his Daedalus now, and just it's pretty funny. He just kind of like destroyed. Oh, actually, very nice play from KSI. Gets in the extended tether range, and makes it so the IO can just catapult himself out of the fight. So really well played by VP. Not only saves their Sven, but also manages to save their Wisp. Not just saying like, all right, now you're fodder. It was pretty funny last fight. There's Lena was casting her stun, and before it could even come down, Sven just like tapped her and she died. And if you listen to that, it's kind of a tapping. It's like shring, shring, shring. It's like tapping like or like running your nails against really sharp glass or like stainless steel. Shring, shring. So it's pretty funny when you just kind of one shot somebody. It's like shring. Oh, I guess he's dead. But yeah, looks like Chaos Knight finally did manage to pick up his BKB. I think that Brazier will be going into drums now. Drums good at every stage of the game. Movement speed has that effect where it's just like always good. And looks like VP just gonna go ahead and push down on the bottom lane. Just they know they have the advantage. They know the fact that Sven really is at his peak strength. He'd probably go for something like a heart, or I'd even like to see a butterfly, just to give him some more sustainability. Butterfly gives you a ton of attack speed, which is the reason why I say that, and the evasion, and no one on the side of Fnatic as an MKB. Here, just fly out, just doing some farming. Doing farming. Nothing wrong with that. And the Darkseer did go for the Shivas like I'd hoped. So he'll be able to slow down everyone, make it so that, or slow down all the opponents, make it so that their force can fight inside, or fight the illusions instead of just run away from them. In addition, it makes it so that there's a reduced attack speed for the Lone Druid Bear. So, such a nice item. I have to say, VP with their item selection this game has been spot on. And it is going to be for the heart. Alright, so going for just the straight up bulkiness that the heart gives you. And it makes it so, really, Fnatic have nothing to deal with him now. This bear just doesn't do enough damage to say, like, alright, just go ahead and kill this man. He does have a Mjolnir now, so that's pretty cool. But still, not a raw damage ability. He needs something like an Abyssal Blade to flesh out that Spirit Bear so it does actual amounts of damage. Given it does do about 200 damage right now, but you look at Sven, and he does 250 without his ult, and you add another 300 damage on top of that. So that's really good, and they need something to deal with that. And right now, it's not going to be that bear. A bear not only needs something more armor focused, so you know it can survive against the Sven longer, but it also needs it also needs another big damage item. It needs that Sacred Relic to make the Abyssal Blade.
And we're back.
A little bit of downtime between next team fights. I believe Sven just wants to farm up his heart. The Darkseid is going to be wanting to farm buyback. Jakiro just wants money. And the Wisp just also wants buyback. Make sure he also has buyback. Now you can see this is where it's going to start spiraling a little bit for VP. 7.5k gold. And actually, this has been a really back and forth game in terms of EXP. But 3k EXP. It makes sense. They're pretty much trading team fight into. It's pretty much whichever team wins that team fight, or wins the last team fight, gains the map control, gains the dominance, and then they just equally farm the map. And yeah, it's becoming kind of funny actually. But I don't know. It's been a really fun game to watch so far. It's just this nice little back and forth. Like, it's so versatile with the team fight. Because if VP gets a good team fight, they have an amazing team fight. But if Fnatic manage to disrupt it enough, if they manage to have Hani pull out one of their big team fight ults, like if they pick out the Darkseer or the Jakiro or the Puck, or even the Sven if they're lucky, then they just all of a sudden this team fight just doesn't have the same orchestra that it does. And yeah, ooh, we have a huge team fight coming in on the middle lane. Looks like the Lasso is going to go out on the Sven. However, he has his BKB pop, so it won't be doing nearly as much damage. Just total chaos on this field, and Trixie goes down very, very quickly. Era is going to follow to the Wisps, I believe. Armlet toggling the best he can, but yep, Sven just goes and taps him to death. And that was a really, really nice fight for VP. Just kind of looped into the middle of Fnatic's lineup and dropped a wall right down the center of it, and just created this crazy chaos that made it so that couldn't really do anything. And it's just doing so much damage, and looks like he's gonna get very, very easy, quick T3, Mask of Madness, overcharge, just so much damage. Top's also managing to push in, and both their carries are dead, and Fnatic's supports are all under farm. And Batrider's rich. He is very, very rich. But at the same time, Batrider isn't going to be able to stop this push no matter how good he is. And so now that is a double Raxi against Fnatic. And VP just playing this series great. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. Game 1, once again, I missed it, and I'm sorry. I'll be cussing the VOD in a bit, right after this series, so it'll go up on the YouTube channel. Yeah, and Fnatic calls GG. But VP just playing this game really, really well. I mean, just really, really crazy team fight picks, and they played it really, really well. So there's really nothing else to say about it. And so that is Megas for side of VP, and now it's just waiting for the score screen to pop up. Meanwhile, this has been the start of your coverage for the Defense 3, brought to you by Ditone, unaffiliated with any website just yet. Please make sure to check out joindota.com, though. They are the hosts of this tournament, Defense, and just give Toby1 all your love in the world, because that man is amazing. Anyways, this has been Game 2. VP doing a really, really nice job taking out Fnatic. So here's the source screen for you guys, for you stats junkies. And we'll be coming in to game number 3 shortly. Will Fnatic be able to have the comeback of the century, or is VP just gonna go ahead and take a nice another game? We'll find out soon.